Alright, that's our first music guest who goes by the name of Bomba Mzayoni, a local gospel artist from Tembisa, a township in Johannesburg, of course, East Rand. His current album is titled Ungithandile and features 12 purely gospel tracks. He joins us now to tell us more about his music career and his album. Good morning, welcome to Winning Live. Talk to us about this album. Who did you work with on the album?
Basically, on the album, I've worked with a guy called Tembisa. We were co-producing the album, but I did most of the work, production in terms of songwriting and everything. So yeah.
Why the decision to go into gospel music? What inspired that?
It started when I started from when I was young. In our community, you start from church, you go to school, then you start singing in school. And what was very interesting for me was when I joined, clap and tap choir, and I was still young at that time, and I was quite fascinated by gospel music.
Yeah. Talk to us about the title of the album. What's the significance of the title of the album?
Ungithandile, basically what it means, he loved me. Through the trials that I've been through, God has really, stood out for me, because I've gone through a lot and I've survived. Hence, I'm dedicating this song to say, I thank God because God loved me, and I'm sure there's quite a lot of people that can relate to this type of message.
Gospel is one of the, if not the highest selling genre in this country. What makes you different from other gospel artists?
I'm quite glad you asked that. The main reason that makes me different, I'm not imitating anyone. I come with my own style. I come with my own voice, and that's what makes me different. And as well as the message, if you look at the song Ungithandile, I mean, I wrote that song from scratch. I believe in composing. A lot of artists take songs from the hymns. I believe in writing.
How's the album been received?
So far so well. It's out there in the market. People love it. I've been performing in churches. I've been performing in a lot of places.
What for you were the highlights of putting this album together?
It was when I was actually unemployed, and I had to go to the studio, and I had no money to go to the studio. I purely did this album, struggled to get to the studio. Even the final mix, I was not there because I couldn't get there.
Yeah.
So for me, this album is the start of new things for my life.
Who would you say have been the people that have contributed positively to your life and were there, during the most difficult times?
Mostly my mother. She's been very supportive. My sisters, and and my wife. It's been just phenomenal. I mean, they've just been there and saying. There was times where I said, I'm not gonna sing anymore, and they said, no, you cannot desert your gift, and it keeps me going. Family is the most important thing.
All right, where do people access the album?
At the moment, I'm busy with a couple of record distribution people that I'm trying to get the album to, but they can get me on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram in the meantime, while I'm still trying to get a distribution deal.
All right, Bomba, thank you so much for talking to us, Bomba.
It's a pleasure.
Mzayoni talking to us about his album Ungithandile, and he's working on a distribution deal at the moment. 12 tracks on the album. He will perform for us twice this morning. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll cross to the Eastern Cape after this. Stay with us.